Okay, good evening, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to our production of Julius Caesar's Breen Shakespeare's Julius Caesar. This is our 6th year of these summer Shakespeare productions. They tend to be condensed, compelling shows. This one should be typical. It has a runtime of about an hour and 45 minutes. Beyond that, I want to point out that this time we broke with tradition a bit. As you can see, the stage is set in a round. It's bordered by the first row of chairs. So you may find that during the action, some of the cast will join you in the audience because of the nature of the show. On top of that, since it's in the round, at times you may find that your view is black. It's only temporary though, so please keep that in mind. Would you take a minute to please click off your cell phones before we start? The exits are the 2 exits where you came in, and left and right behind us, the 4 exits around the stage. Hope you enjoy the show.
Many a time and oft have you climbed up to walls and battlements, to windows and towers, yea, to chimney tops. Your infants cradled in your arms, and there have sat the livelong day in patient expectation to see the great Pompey pass the streets of Rome. And when his chariot did but appear, did you not make a universal shout? That Tiber trembled underneath her banks to hear the replication of your sounds made in her concave shores.
Yeah.
And do you now put on your best attire?
Yes.
And do you now call out a holiday?
Yes.
And do you now strew flowers in the wake of he who comes in triumph over Pompey's blood?
Yes.
Be gone! Run to your homes, fall upon your knees, pray to the gods that needs must light upon this ingratitude!
Go! Go, good countrymen, and for this fault, assemble all the poor men of your sort. Draw them to Tiber banks and weep your tears into the channel. From our lowest stream you kiss the most exalted shores of all. Go you that way down towards the capital, this way will I. Disrobe the images if you do find them decked with ceremonies. Let no images be hung with Caesar's trophies. Caesar! All about, and drive away the vulgar from the streets. Vulgar? You too, where you perceive them thick. These growing feathers plucked from Caesar's wing will
Caesar!
fly an ordinary pitch. Who else would soar above the view of men and keep us all in servile fearfulness?
Ah! Who calls?
Make every noise be still! Haste yet again!
Who is it in the press that calls on me? I hear a tongue shriller than other music cry Caesar. Speak! Caesar's here to hear you.
Beware the Ides of March!
What man is that?
Soothsayer, bid thee beware the ides of March.
Set him before me. Let me see his face.
Fellow!
Come from the throng, look upon Caesar.
What sayest thou to me now? Speak again.
Beware the ides of March.
He is a dreamer. Let us leave him pass.
Will you go see the order of the course?
Not I.
I pray you do.
I'm not gamesome. I do lack some part of that quick spirit that is in Antony. Let me not hinder Cassius or desires.
Brutus, I do observe you now of late. I have not from your eye that gentleness and show of love as I was wont to have. You bear too stubborn and too strange a hand over your friend that loves you.
Cassius, be not deceived. If I have veiled my look, I turn the trouble of my countenance merely upon myself. Vexed I am of late, with passions of some difference, conceptions only proper to myself, which give some soil perhaps to my behavior. Let not therefore my good friends be grieved, among which number, Cassius, be you one, nor construe any further my neglect than that poor Brutus, with himself at war, forgets the shows of love to other men.
Well then, Brutus, I have much mistook your passion. By means whereof this rest of mine hath buried thoughts of great value, worthy cogitations. But tell me, good Brutus, can you see your face?
Yeah! No, Cassius, for the eye sees not itself, but by reflection, by some other things.
Which is just. And it is very much lamented that Brutus hath no such mirror as to return his hidden worthiness into his eye that he might see his shadow. I have heard many of the best respect in Rome, except the mortal Caesar, speaking of Brutus and groaning underneath this aged yoke, hath wished that Brutus had his eyes.
Into what dangers would you lead me, Cassius, that you would have me seek into myself for that which is not in me?
Therefore, good Brutus, be prepared to hear. And since you know you cannot see yourself so well as by reflection, I, your glass, will modestly discover to yourself that of yourself which you know not of. And be not jealous on me, gentle Brutus. Now, if you know that I do fawn on men and hug them hard, and after scandal them, or if I do profess myself in banqueting to all the rout, well then hold me dangerous.
Caesar!
It means the shouting. I do fear that people choose Caesar for their king.
Aye. Do you fear it? Unless I think you would not have it so.
I would not. Yet I love him still. But wherefore you hold me here so long, Cassius? What is it that you would impart to me? If it be aught toward the general good, set honor in one eye and death in the other, and I will look upon both indifferently. For as the gods so speak me, I love the name of honor more than I fear death.
I know that virtue to be in you, Brutus, as well as I do know your outward favor. Well, honor is the subject of my story. I do not know how you or other men see this life, but for my single self, I had as lief not be, as live to be in awe of such a thing as I myself. I was born as well as Caesar, so were you. We both have fed as well, and we can both endure the winter cold as well as he. For once, upon a raw and gusty day, the troubled Tiber, chafing with her shores, Caesar said to me, "Darest thou, Cassius? Now leap in with me into yonder flood." Upon the word, coutred as I was, I plunged in and bade him follow. And so he did. The torrent roared, and we did buffet it with lusty sinews, throwing it aside, stemming it with lots of controversy. But ere we could arrive, the point proposed, Caesar cried out, "Help me, Cassius, or I sink!" I, as Aeneas, our great ancestor, did from the flames of Troy upon his shoulder the old Anchises bear, did I from the waves of Tiber the tired Caesar. And this man has become a god. Oh, and Cassius is a wretched creature who must bend his body if Caesar carelessly doth look on him. He had a fever when he was in Spain, and on his mark how he did shake. Oh, 'tis true, this god did shake. His coward lips did from their color fly, and that eye that whose bend doth all the world did lose its luster. to hear him groan, and that same tongue that bade every Roman mark him and write his speeches in their books. I cried out, "Oh, Casca, give me some drink!" As a sick girl, ye gods, it doth amaze me a man of such feeble temper should so get the start of the world and bear the palm alone.
Another general shout. I do believe these applauses are some new honors that are heaped on Caesar.
Oh, why, man, he doth bestride the narrow world like a colossus, and we petty men walk under his huge legs and peep about to find ourselves dishonorable graves. Men, at some times, are masters of their fate. The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves, that we are underlings. Brutus and Caesar. What should be in that Caesar? Why should his name be sounded more than yours? Write them together, yours is as fair a name. Sound them, they doth become the mouth as well. Weigh them, they are as heavy. Conjure with them, Brutus will start a spirit as well as Caesar's. So by all the gods at once, upon what meat does this our Caesar feed that he hath grown so great? Age, thou art shamed. When could they say, till now, that talked of Rome, that her wide walls encompass but one man?
That you do love me, I am nothing jealous. What you would work me to, I have some aim. How I have thought of this and of these times, I will recount hereafter, but for the present I would not. So with love I entreat you, be any further moved. What you have said, I will consider. What you have to say, I will with patience hear, and find a time both meet to hear and answer these high things. But for now, my noble friend, chew upon this. Brutus had rather be a villager than repute himself a son of Rome under these harsh conditions that these times are like to lay on us.
I am glad that my weak words could strike thus much show of fire in Brutus.
Caesar is returning.
Yon Cassius has a lean and hungry look. He thinks too much. Such men are dangerous.
Fear him not, Caesar. He's not dangerous. He is a noble Roman and well given.
Would he were fatter. He loves not plays as thou dost. He hears no music. Seldom he speaks. Such men as he be never at heart seas, whilst they behold the greater than themselves, and therefore they are very dangerous. I tell thee truly what is to be feared, that what I fear, for always I am Caesar. Come on my right hand, for this here is death, and tell me truly what thou thinkst of me.
You pulled me by the cloak. Would you speak with me?
Aye, Casca. Tell us what has chanced today that Caesar looks so sad.
Why, you were with him, were you not?
I should not then ask Casca what had chanced.
Why, there was a crown offered him, and being offered him, he put it by with the back of his hand, thus, and the people fell shouting.
What was the second noise for?
Why, for that too?
They shouted thrice. What was the third cry for?
Why, for that too?
Was the crown offered him thrice?
Aye, marry, 'twas, and he put it by thrice, each time gentler than another, and at every putting by mine honest neighbor shouted.
Who offered him the crown?
Why, Antony.
Tell us the manner of it, gentle Casca.
I can as well be hanged as tell the manner of it. It was foolery, indeed, I did not mark it. I saw Antony offer him a crown, yet 'twas not a crown neither, 'twas one of these coronets, and as I told you, he put it by once. But for all that, to my thinking, he would have fain have had it. And then he offered it to him again. He put it by again, but for all that, to my thinking, he was very loath to lay his fingers off it. And then he offered it a third time. He put it the third time by, and still as he refused, the rabblemen hooted and clapped their chopped hands and threw up their sweaty nightcaps and uttered such a dealing of stinking breath that he refused the crown. It almost choked Caesar, who and fell down at it. Now, for my part, I durst not laugh for fear of opening my lips and receiving the bad air.
But, soft, I pray, what did Caesar swoon?
I fell down in marketplace, foamed at mouth, was speechless.
'Tis very like he hath the falling sickness.
No, Caesar hath it not. You and I and honest Casca, we have the falling sickness.
I know not what you mean by that, but I am sure Caesar fell down. If the ragtag people did not clap him and hiss him as he pleased and displeased, as they do the players in the theater, well, I'm no true woman.
What said he when he came unto himself?
Marry, before he fell down, when he perceived the common herd was glad he refused the crown, he plucked ope his doublet and offered them his throat to cut. And I have been a woman of any occupation. If I had taken Caesar at a word, well, I would I might go to hell among the rogues. And so he fell. When he came to himself again, he said if he had done or said anything amiss, he desired their worships to think it his infirmity. 3 or 4 wenches where I stood cried, "Alas, poor soul!" and forgave him with all their hearts. There's no heed to be taken of them. Caesar could have stabbed their mothers, and they would have done no less.
And after that he came thus sad away?
I?
Did Cicero say anything?
I spoke Greek.
To what effect?
Nay, and I tell you that and those look you in the face again. But those that understood him, they smiled at one another and shook their heads, but for my part it was Greek to me. There's more news too. Fabius and Morellus, for pulling scarves off Caesar's images, are put to silence.
Will you dine with me tonight, Casca?
No, I'm promised forth.
Will you sup with me tomorrow then?
Aye, if I be alive and you be of sound mind and your dinner worth eating.
Oh, good. I shall expect you then.
Do so. Farewell, both.
What a blunt lady is this grown to be. She was quick mettle when she went to school.
So is she now in pursuit of any bold and noble enterprise? However, she puts on this tardy form her rudenesses as a sauce to her good wit to give men better stomach to digest her words.
And so it is. For the time I will leave you. Tomorrow, if you please to speak with me, I'll come home to you, or if not, if you can come home to me and I will wait for you.
I will do so. So then, think of the world. Well, Brutus, thou art noble. Yet I see thy honorable metal may be wrought from that it is disposed. Therefore it is meet that all noble minds keep ever with their likes for. Who so firm cannot be seduced? Caesar doth bear me hard, but he loves Brutus. If Brutus were Cassius, and I Brutus, he would not humor me. I will this night in several hands throw in at his windows, as if they came from several citizens, writings all tending to the great opinion that Rome has of his name, wherein obscurely Caesar's ambition shall be glanced at. After that, let Caesar seek him, sure, for we will shake him on worse days endure.
Good evening, Casca. Brought you Caesar home? Why are you breathless? And why stand you so?
Are not you moved when all the world shakes like a thing unfurled? Oh, Cicero, I have seen tempests when the scolding winds have bribed the Niotes, and I have seen the ambitious ocean rage and swell and foam, but never till tonight, never till now, did I pass through a tempest dropping fire. Either there is a civil strife in heaven, or else the world too salty with the gods incenses them to send destruction.
Why, saw you anything more, wonderful?
A common slave, you know him well by sight, held up his left hand, which did flame and burn like 20 torches joined, and yet his hand, not sensible of fire, remained unscorched. I had not since put up my sword. Against the Capitol, I met a lion, who glared upon me, and went surly by without my warning. And there was drawn upon when these prodigies do so rejoicing me, let not men say these are the reasons they are natural, for I believe they are portentous things.
Indeed, it is a strange disposed time. But men may consider things after their fashion, flee from the purpose of the things themselves. Come, Caesar, to the capital tomorrow.
He doth.
Good night, then, Casca. This disturbed sky is not wrong.
Farewell, Hero.
Who's there?
A Roman!
Casca! By your voice.
Your ear is good. What night is this, Cassius?
Oh, very pleasing night to honest men.
Whoever in the heavens meant.
Those that have known the earth so full of faults. For my part, Casca, I have walked about the streets, submitting myself unto the perilous night, and thus embraced Casca, and you see, bared my bosom to the thunderstone.
But
And
where?
when the cross through lightning seemed to open the breast of heaven, I did submit myself, even to the age of very flash of it.
Wherefore did you so much tempt the heavens? It is the part of men to fear and tremble when the most mighty God by token sends such dreadful heralds to astonish us.
You are dull, Casca. The sparks of life that should be in a Roman, you use not, or else you have not. You look pale and gaze and put on fear and cast yourself in wonder to see the strange impatience of the heavens. And if you would discover the true cause, you will find that the heaven hath infused them with these spirits to make them instruments of fear and warning unto some monstrous state. Now could I, Casca, name to thee a man most like this dreadful night? Thunders, lightning, open graves, and roars of the lion capital. A man no mightier than thyself for me in personal action, yet prodigious grown and fearful as these strange eruptions are.
'Tis Caesar that you mean, is it not, Cassius?
Let it be who it is. The Romans have thews and limbs like to their ancestors. Woe the while our fathers' minds are dead. We are governed by our mothers' spirits, by yoke and sufferance. Show us woman and not thou.
Indeed. They say the senators tomorrow mean to establish Caesar as a king, and he shall wear his crown by land and sea in every place, save here in Italy.
I know where I will wear this dagger, then. Cassius, from bondage, will deliver Cassius. Therein, ye gods, you make the weak most strong. Therein, ye gods, you tyrants, do defeat.
Every bondman in his own hand bears the power to cancel his captivity.
Why should Caesar be a tyrant, then? A poor man, I know he would not be a wolf, but that he sees the Romans are but sheep. What craft is Rome? What base and what awful when it serves for the base man to illuminate so vile a thing as Caesar. But oh, where has my grief led me? I perhaps speak this before a willing bond. For then I know my answer must be made, but I am armed, and dangers are to me indifferent.
You speak to Casca, and to such a woman that is no fleering telltale. Hold my hand. Be factious for address of all these priests, and I will set this foot of mine as far as who goes farthest.
There's a bargain made. For know you, Casca, have this night already moved some of the noblest minded Romans to undergo with me an enterprise of honorable danger across the west. And they say for me, in Pompey's porch, and I do know by this because there's no fear or stir of walking in the streets tonight, and the complexion of the elements like the work we have in hand, most bloody, fiery, and most terrible.
Stand post a while, here before in haste.
I know him by his gait. He's a friend. Sinner. I haste you, son.
Find out you. Who's that?
Metellus Simber?
No, it is Casca, one incorporate to our tents. Tell me, sinner, am I not stateful?
I'm glad on it. What a fearful night is this? There's 2 or 3 of us have seen strange sights.
Am I not stateful? Tell me.
Yes, you are. Oh, Cassius, if you could win but the noble Brutus to our party.
Be content. Good sinner. Take this paper and lay it in the praetor's chair where Brutus may find it. Throw this in at his window. Set this up in wax on old Brutus' statue. That done, repair to Pompey's theater where you shall find us. Our Decius, Brutus, and Trebonius there.
All but Metellus Simba, and she has gone to seek you at your house. Well, I will hide, and so bestow these papers as you bade me.
That's done, repair to Pompey's theater. Come, Casca. You and I will yet your day see Brutus at his house. 3 parts of him are ours already. The man in tire yields him ours upon our next encounter.
Peace is high in all the people's heart, and that which would appear offense in us, his countenance like riches else will be changed to virtue and to worthiness.
Him and his worth and our great need of him you have right well conceived. Come, after midnight, we will see him and be sure of him.
Must be by his death. But for my part, I know no personal cause to spurn at him, but for the general. He would be crowned. How that might change his nature, there's the question. It's the bright day that brings forth the adder, and that craves wary walking. Crown him that, and then I grant we put a sting in him, that at his will he may do danger with. The abuse of greatness is when it disjoins remorse from power. But to speak truth of Caesar, I have not known when his affections swayed more than his reason. Yet, 'tis a common proof that lowliness is young ambition's ladder, whereto the climber upward turns his face, but when he once attains the utmost round, he then unto the ladder turns his back, looks in the clouds, scorning the base degrees by which he can ascend. So Caesar may, then lest he may prevent, and therefore think him as a serpent's egg, which hatched would as his kind grow mischievous, and kill him in his shell. Brutus, thou sleepest, awake, and see thyself, shalt groan, etc., etc. Speak, strike, redress. Brutus, thou sleepest, awake? Such instigations have been often brought, where I have took them up. Speak, strike, redress. Am I entreated to speak and strike, O Rome? Ah, make thee promise. If the redress will follow, thou receivest thy full petition at the hand of Brutus. Since Cassius did first wet me against Caesar, I have not slept. Between the acting of a dreadful thing and the first motion, all the interim is like a phantasm or a hideous dream. The genius and the mortal instruments are then in council in the state of man. Like to a little kingdom, suffers the nature of an insurrection.
I think we are too bold upon your rest. Tomorrow, Brutus, do we trouble you?
Shamest thou conspiracy, to show thy dangerous brows by night when evils are most free? Then by day, where wilt thou find a cavern dark enough to mask thy monstrous visage? Seek none, conspiracy. Hide it in smiles and affability. But if thou path thy native semblance on, not Erebus itself were dim enough to hide thee from prevention. Know I these men who come along with you?
Every man of them, and every man doth honor you. And no one here but wishes that you have that opinion of yourself that all of Roman bears of you. This Trebonius,
He is welcome hither.
this Decius Brutus,
She is welcome to.
Miss Casca, Miss Cinna, Miss Metellus.
They're all welcome. Keep your hands all over, one by one.
And let us swear our resolution.
No, not an oath. Countrymen, what need we any spur but our own cause to prick us to redress? What other bond than secret Romans that have spoke the world and will not alter? What other oath than honesty, to honesty engaged that this shall be, or we will fall for it? Swear, priests and cowards, men countless, old feeble carrions, and such suffering souls that welcome wrongs. Unto bad causes swear such creatures as men doubt. But do not stain the unsuppressive metal of our spirit or the even virtue of our enterprise to think that, or that our cause or that our performance did need an oath, when every drop of blood that every Roman bears and nobly bears is guilty of several bastardy, if he should break the smallest particle of any promise that hath passed from him.
Shall no man else be touched, but only Caesar?
Decius, well urged. I think it is not meet that Mark Antony, so well beloved of Caesar, should outlive Caesar. We shall find him a shrewd contriver, and you do know his means, if he improve them, may stretch so far as to harass us all, which to prevent that Antony and Caesar fall together.
Our course will seem too bloody, guys, Cassius, to cut the head off and then hack the limbs, like wrath and death and envy after. For Antony is but a limb of Caesar's. Let us be sacrificers, but not butchers, Gaius. We all stand up against the spirit of Caesar, and in the spirit of men there is no blood. Oh, that we could then come by Caesar's spirit and not dismember Caesar. But alas, Caesar must bleed for it. And so, gentle friends, let's kill him boldly, but not wrathfully. Let's carve him as a dish fit for the gods, not hew him as a carcass fit for the hounds. And let our hearts, as subtle masters do, stir up their servants to an act of rage, and then after seem to chide them. This will make our purpose necessary and not envious. And so appearing to the common eye, we shall be called purgers, not murderers. And as for Mark Antony, think not of him. He can do no more than Caesar's arm when Caesar's head is off.
Yet I do fear him, for in the enraptured love he bears to Caesar.
Alas, Cassius, do not think of him. If he loves Caesar, all that he can do is unto himself. Take thought and die for Caesar. And that much he should, for he is given to sports, to wildness, and much company. Peace.
Clock is stricken 3.
'Tis time to part.
Yet, it's doubtful yet whether Caesar will come forth today or no. For he is superstitious grown. Quite from the main opinion he once held of fantasies, of dreams, and of ceremonies. It may be these accustomed to prodigies, the unaccounted for terrors of the night, and the persuasion of his augurers may keep him from the capital today.
Never fear that. If he be so resolved, I can o'ersway him. For he loves to hear that unicorns may be betrayed with trees, and bears with glasses, elephants with holes, lions with toils, and men with flatterers. But when I tell him he hates flatterers, he says he does, being then most flattered. Oh, let me work. Pride can give his humor the true bent, and I will bring him to the capital.
Nay, we will all be there to fetch him. Morning comes upon us. We'll leave you, Brutus' friends. Disperse yourselves. But remember what you have said here, to show yourselves true Romans.
Good gentlemen,
Look fresh and merrily. Let not our looks put on our purposes, but bear them, as our Roman actors do, with untired spirit and formal constancy. And so good morrow to you, everyone.
Brutus, my lord.
Portia, what mean you? Wherefore do you rise now? It is not for your help to commit your weak condition to the rock all morning.
Nor for yours neither. You ungently, Brutus, stole from my bed. And yesternight, at supper, you suddenly arose and walked about, musing and sighing with your arms across. And when I asked you what the matter was, you stared upon me with ungentle looks. I urged you further, then you scratched your head and too impatiently stamped with your foot. Yet I insisted, yet you answered not, but with an angry wafture of your hand gave sign for me to leave you. So I did, fearing to strengthen that impatience which seemed too much enkindled, and withal, hoping it was but an effective humor, which sometimes hath his hour with every man, it will not let you eat, nor talk, nor sleep, and could it work so much upon your shape as hath much prevailed on your condition? I should not know you do this. Dear, my lord, make me acquainted with your cause of grief.
I am not well in health, and that is all.
Brutus is wise, and were he not in health, he would embrace the means to come by it.
Why so I do? Good Portia, go to bed.
Is Brutus sick? You have some sick offense within your mind, which, by right and virtue of my place, I ought know of. And upon my knees I charm you, by my once commended beauty, by all your vows of love and that great vow which did incorporate and make us one, that you unfold to me yourself, your hap, why you are heavy. And what men tonight have had resort to you, for here have been some 6 or 7 who did hide their faces, even from darkness.
Kneel not, gentle Portia.
I should not need if you were gentle Brutus. Tell me, Brutus, within the bonds of marriage, is it accepted that I should know no secrets that appertain to you? Am I yourself, but as it were in sort or limitation? To keep with you at meals, comfort your bed, and talk with you sometimes? Dwell I but in the suburbs of your good pleasure? If it be no more, Portia is Brutus's harlot, not his wife.
You are my true and honorable wife, as dear to me as are the ruddy drops that visit my sad heart.
If this were true, then I should know this secret. I grant that I am a woman, but withal, a woman Lord Brutus took to wife. I grant that I am a woman, but withal, a woman well reputed, Cato's daughter. Think you I am no stronger than my sex, being so fathered and so husbanded? Tell me your counsels. I will not disclose them. I have made strong proof of my constancy, giving myself a voluntary wound here. Oh, and the thigh, can I bear that with patience and not my husband's secrets?
Oh, ye gods, make me worthy of this noble wife. By and by, thy bosom shall partake in the secrets of my heart. All my engagements I will construe to be in the territory of my sad brows.
What mean you, Caesar? Think you to walk forth today? You shall not stir out of your house today.
Caesar shall fall. The things that threaten me never look behind my back. When they shall see the face of Caesar, they are banished.
Caesar, I never stood on ceremonies, yet now they fright me. There is one within, besides the things that we have heard and seen, recounts most horrid sights seen by the watch. A lioness hath welted in the streets, and graves have yawned and yielded up their dead. Fierce, Fiery warriors fought upon the clouds in ranks and squadrons in right form of war, which drizzled blood upon the Capitol. The noise of battle hurtled in the air. Horses did neigh, and dying men did groan, and ghosts did shriek and squeal about the streets. Oh, Caesar, these things are beyond all use, and I do fear them.
What can be avoided whose ends are purposed by the mighty gods? Yet Caesar shall go forth. For these predictions are to the world in general, as to Caesar.
When beggars die, there are no comets seen. The heavens themselves blaze forth the death of princes.
Cowards die many times before their deaths. The valiant never taste of death but once. Of all the wonders that I yet have heard, it seems to be most strange that men should fear. Seeing its death, a necessary end, will come when it will come. What says the augurers?
They would not have you stir forth today. Plucking the entrails of an offering forth, they could not find a heart within the beast.
The gods of this in shame of cowardice. Caesar should be a beast without a heart if he should stay at home today for fear. No, Caesar shall not. Danger knows full well that Caesar is more dangerous than he. We are two lions, littered in one day, and I the elder and more terrible, and Caesar shall go forth today.
Alas, my lord, your wisdom is consumed in confidence. Do not go forth today. Call it my fear that keeps you in this house and not your own. We'll send Mark Antony to the Senate house, and he shall say you are not well today. Let me, upon my knee, prevail in this.
Mark Antony shall say I am not well, and for thy humour I will stay home. Ah! Here's Decius Brutus. He will tell him so.
Caesar, all hail. Good morrow, worthy Caesar. I come to fetch you to the Senate house.
And you are come in very happy time to bear my greetings to the senators, and tell them I will not come today. Cannot is false, and that I dare not falter. I will not come today. Tell them so, Decius.
Most mighty Caesar, let me know some cause, lest I be laughed at when I tell them so.
The cause is in my will. I will not come. That is enough to satisfy the Senate. But for your private satisfaction, because I love you, I will let you know. Calpurnia, my wife, stays me at home. She dreamt tonight she saw my statue, which like a fountain with 100 spouts did run pure blood. And many lusty Romans came smiling and did bathe their hands in it. And these does she apply as warnings and portents of evils imminent. And on her knees doth beg that I shall stay at home today.
This dream is all misinterpreted. It was a vision, fair and fortunate. Your statue, spouting blood in many pipes, in which so many smiling Romans bathed, signifies that from you great Rome shall suck reviving blood, and that great men shall press for tinctures, stains, relics, and cognizance. This, by Calpurnia's dream, is signified.
And in this way you have well expounded it.
I have, when you have heard what I can say, and know it now. The Senate have concluded to give this day a crown to mighty Caesar. If you shall send them word you will not come, their minds may change. Besides, it were a mock act to be rendered for someone to say, break up the Senate till another time when Caesar's wife shall meet with better dreams. If Caesar hide himself, shall they not whisper, lo, Caesar is afraid? Pardon me, my Caesar, my dear, dear love, to our proceeding bids me tell you this, and reason to my love is liable.
How foolish do your fears seem now, Calpurnia? I am ashamed that I did yield to them. Get me my robe, for I will go. And look, where they come to fetch me. Brutus, are you stirred so early too? Good morrow, Casca.
Caesar, 'tis struck an 8.
Ah, yes. Ah, Mark Antony, who revels long the night is not standing up. Good morrow, Antony.
So to most noble Caesar.
Now Cinna, now Casca, now Metellus. What, Trebonius? I have an hour's talk in store for you. Remember that you called on me today. Be near me, that I may remember you.
Caesar, I will. And so near will I be that your best friend shall wish I had been further.
Good friends, go in and taste some wine with me, and then we, like friends, will straightway go together.
And every like is not the same, O Caesar. The heart of Brutus learns to calm.
Caesar, beware of Brutus. Take heed of Cassius. Come not near Casca. Have an eye to Cinna. Trust not Trebonius. Mark well Metellus Simba. Decius, Brutus loves thee not. Thou hast wronged Caius Legalius. There is but one mind in all these men, and it is bent against Caesar. If thou beest not immortal, look about you. Security gives way to conspiracy. The mighty gods defend thee. Thy lover, Artemidorus. Here will I stand, till Caesar pass along, and as a suitor will I give him this. My heart laments that virtue cannot live out of the teeth of emulation. If thou readst this, O Caesar, thou mayst live. If not, the fates with traitors do contrive.
Behind the lines are come.
Aye, Caesar, but not gone.
Hail, Caesar, read this schedule.
Trebonius doth desire you to read at your best leisure this his humble suit.
Oh, Caesar, read mine first, for mine's the suit that touches Caesar nearer. Read it, great Caesar.
What touches us ourselves should be last served.
Delay not, Caesar, read it instantly.
What is this fellow mad?
Urgent petitions in the streets. Be sudden, for we fear prevention.
Cassius, be constant.
Trebonius knows his time. But look you, Brutus. He draws Mark Antony out of the way.
Where is Metellus Simba? Let her go and presently prefer her suit to Caesar.
She is addressed. Press near and second her.
Casca, you are the first that rears your hand.
Are we all ready? What is now amiss that Caesar and his Senate must redress?
Most high, most mighty, most puissant Caesar, Metellus Simba throws before thy seat a humble heart.
I must prevent thee, Simba. These couchings and these lowly courtesies may fire the blood of ordinary men and turn preordinates in first degree into the law of children. But be not fond to think that Caesar bears such troubled blood, that will be thawed from the truth's quality with that which melteth fools. I mean, sweet words, low crooked curtsies, and base spaniel fawnings. Thy brother by decree was banished, and if thou dost pray and bend and fawn for him, I spurn thee like a coward out of my way. No, Caesar doth not wrong, nor without cause will he be satisfied.
Is there no voice more worthy than my own, to sound more sweetly in great Caesar's ear, for the repealing of my banished brother?
I kiss thy hand, but not in flattery, Caesar, desiring of thee that Publius Simba may have an immediate freedom of repeal.
What, Brutus?
Pardon, Caesar, pardon. As low is to thy foot doth Cassius fall, to beg enfranchisement for Publius Cimber.
I could be well moved, if I was you. If I could pray to move, prayers would move me. But I am constant as the northern star, whose true fixed and lasting quality there is no fellow in the firmament. The skies, painted with unnumbered stars, they are all fire, and every one does shine. But there's but one and all that holds this place. So in the world, it is furnished well with men, and men are flesh and blood and apprehensive. Yet in the number I do know but one that unassailable holds his rank, unshaked of motion, and that I am he. Let me a little show it, even in this, that I was constant, Cimber should be banished, and constant to remain to keep him so.
Oh, Caesar!
What, hence? Would thou lift up Olympus?
Wait, Caesar.
Doth not Brutus ruthless kneel?
Speak!
Liberty! Freedom! Tyranny is dead! Run hence, proclaim! Cry it about the streets!
Come to the pulpit pulpits and cry out liberty, freedom, and enfranchisement! People and senators, be not afraid. Fly not, stand stiff. Ambition's debt is paid!
Go to the pulpit, Brutus! And Cassius, too! Stand fast together, lest some friend of Caesar should chance.
Where's Mark Antony?
Fled to his house amazed. Men, wives, children stare, cry out, and run as it were doomsday. Stoop, Romans, stoop, and let us bathe our hands in Caesar's blood up to the elbows, and besmear our weapons. Then walk we forth even to the marketplace, waving our red weapons o'er our heads. Let's all cry peace, freedom, and liberty!
Stoop, then, and watch! How many ages hence shall this our lofty scene be acted over, in states unborn, and accents yet unknown?
How many times will Caesar bleed in sport, that now on Pompey's bases lies no worthier than the dust?
So oft as that shall be, so often shall this not of us be called the men that gave their country liberty.
What shall we forth?
Aye, every man away, Brutus shall lead us, and we shall grace his heel with the most boldest and best parts of Rome. Welcome, Mark Antony.
Almighty Caesar, dost thou lie so low? Are all thy conquests, glories, triumphs, spoils shrunk to this little measure? Fare thee well. I know not, gentlemen, what you intend. Who else must be let blood? Who else is rank? If I myself, there is no hour so fit as Caesar's death hour, nor no instrument of half that worth as those your swords, made rich with the most noble blood of all this world. I do beseech ye, if you bear me hard, now, whilst your purpled hands do reek and smoke, fulfill your pleasure. Live 1,000 years, I shall not find myself so apt to die. No place will please me so, no mean of death, as here by Caesar, and by you cut off, the choice and master spirits of this age.
Oh, Antony, beg not your death of us.
though now he must appear cruel and bloody, as by our hands, and this our present act you see we do. Yet you see but our hands, and this the bleeding business they have done. Our hearts you see not. They are pitiful, and pity to the general wrong of Rome. As fire drives out fire, so pity hath done this deed on Caesar. For your part, Mark Antony, to you, our swords have leaden points, our arms with strength of malice, and our hearts of brother's temper do receive you with all kind love, good thoughts, and reverence.
Your voice shall be as strong as any man's in the disposing of new dignities.
Only be patient till we have appeased the multitude beside themselves with fear. Then will we deliver to you the cause why I that did love Caesar when I struck him have thus proceeded.
I doubt not of your wisdom. Let each man render me his bloody hand. First, Marcus Brutus, will I shake with you. Next, Gaius Cassius, do I take your hand. Now, Decius Brutus, yours. Now yours, Metellus. Yours, Cinna. And my valiant Casca, yours. The last, not lost in love, yours, good Trebonius. Gentlemen all, alas, what shall I say? My credit now stands on such slippery ground that one of two bad ways you must conceit me, either a coward or a flatterer. That I did love thee, Caesar, oh, 'tis true. If then thy spirit look upon us now, shall it not grieve thee dearer than thy death to see thy Antony making his peace, shaking the bloody fingers of thy foes? Most noble in the presence of thy corpse, had I as many eyes as thou hast wounds, weeping as fast as they stream forth by thy blood, would it become me more than to close in terms of friendship with thy enemies? Pardon me, Julius. Here thou wast bade, brave heart. Here thou didst fall, and here thy hunters stand, signed in thy spoil and crimsoned in thy leaf. O world, thou wast the forest to this heart, and this, indeed, O world, the heart of thee. How, like a deer, strucken by many princes, dost thou here lie?
Mark Antony.
Pardon me, Gaius Cassius. The enemies of Caesar shall say this, that in a friend it is called modesty.
I blame you not for praising Caesar so. But what compact mean you to have with us? Will you be pricked in number of our friends? Or shall we on and not depend on you?
Therefore I took your hands. But was indeed swayed from the point by looking down on Caesar. Friends am I with you all, and love you all, upon this hope, that you shall give me reasons why and wherein Caesar was dangerous.
Else were this a bloody spectacle. Our reasons are so full of good regard that were you Antony, Caesar's son, you should be satisfied.
That's all I seek. And am, moreover, suitor, that I may produce his body to the marketplace, and in the pulpit, as becomes a friend, speak in the order of his funeral.
You shall, Mark Antony.
Brutus, a word with you. You don't know what you do. Do not consent that he should speak in his funeral. Know you not how the people will be moved by that which he will utter?
Under your pardon, I will myself to the pulpit first, and show the reason of our Caesar's death. what Mark Antony shall speak, I will protest he speaks by leave and by permission, and that we are contented that Caesar should have all true rites and lawful ceremonies. It will advantage us more than do us harm.
I know what may fall. I like it not.
Mark Antony, here take you up Caesar's body. You may not, in your funeral speech, blame us, but speak all good that you can devise of Caesar. Say that you do it by our permission, else you shall have no hand at all about his funeral. And you shall speak in the same pulpit whereto I am going when my speech is ended.
Be it so. I do desire no more.
Prepare the body then, and follow us.
Oh, pardon me, thou bleeding piece of earth, that I am kind and gentle with these butchers. Thou art the ruins of the noblest man that ever lived in the tide of times. Woe to the hand that shed this costly blood. Over thy wounds now do I prophesy, which like dumb mouths do ope their ruby lips to beg the voice and utterance of my tongue. A curse shall light upon the limbs of men. Domestic fury and fierce civil strife shall cumber all the parts of Italy. Blood and destruction shall be so in use, and dreadful objects so familiar, that mothers shall but smile when they behold their infants quartered with the hands of war. All pity choked with custom of fell deeds, and Caesar's spirit, raging for revenge, with Arte by his side come hot from hell, shall in these confines with a monarch's voice cry havoc, and let slip the dogs of war, that this foul deed shall smell above the earth, with carrion men groaning for burial. You serve Octavius Caesar, do you not?
I do, Mark Antony.
Caesar did right for him to come to Rome.
He did receive his letters and is coming. He lies tonight within the 7 leagues of Rome.
Post back with speed and tell him what hath chanced. Here is a mourning Rome, a dangerous Rome, no Rome of safety for Octavius yet. Hie hence and tell him so. Yet, stay a while. Thou shalt not back till I have borne this course into the marketplace. There I shall try in my oration how the people take the cruel issue of these bloody men. According to the which thou shalt discourse to young Octavius of the state of things. Lend me your hand.
If there be any here in this assembly, some dear friend of Caesar's, to him I say,
that Brutus's love to Caesar was not less than his? If then that friend should demand why Brutus rose against Caesar, this is my answer. It is not that I loved Caesar less, but I loved Rome more. Had you rather Caesar were living and die all slaves, than that Caesar were dead to live all free men? As Caesar loved me, I weep for him. As he was fortunate, I rejoice in it. As he was valiant, I honor him. But as he was ambitious, I slew him. There's tears for his love, joy for his fortune, honor for his valor, and death for his ambition. Who is here so base as would be a bondman? If any speak, for him have I offended. Who is here so rude as would not be a Roman? If any speak, for him have I offended. Who is here so vile that will not love his country? If any speak, for him have I offended. I pause for a reply.
None, Brutus.
Then none have I offended. I have done unto Caesar no more than you shall do to Brutus. The question of his death is enrolled in the Capitol, his glory not extenuated, wherein he was worthy, nor his offenses enforced, for which he suffered death. Here comes his body, mourned by Mark Antony, who, though he had no hand at all in his death, he will receive the benefit of his dying, a place in the Commonwealth, as which of you shall not? The same dagger, when it shall please my country to need my death.
Live, Brutus, live! Bring him with triumph home into his house.
Give him a statue of his ancestors.
Let him be Caesar! Caesar's better part shall be crowned in Brutus!
We'll bring him to his house with shouts and clamors.
My countrymen!
Yes. Peace, Brutus speaks.
Peace how?
Good countrymen, let me depart alone. But I ask you, stay here with Mark Antony. Do grace unto Caesar's corpse, and grace his speech tending to Caesar's glories, which Mark Antony, by our permission, is allowed to make. I entreat you kindly. Let no man depart save I alone, till Antony have spoke.
Stay ho, and let us hear Mark Antony.
Speak. Let him go up to the public chair. We'll hear him.
Speak,
Noble Antony, go up.
Speak.
I am beholden to you.
What does he say of Brutus?
He says for Brutus' sake he is beholden to us all.
'Twere best he speak no harm of Brutus here.
If Caesar were a tyrant.
Speak, Antony!
Certain we are blessed that Rome is rid of it.
Yes, we are. Yes, speak. You may speak.
Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do lives after them. The good is oft interred with their bones. So let it be with Caesar. The noble Brutus hath told you Caesar was ambitious. If it was so, it was a grievous fault, and grievously hath Caesar answered it. Here, under leave of Brutus and the rest, for Brutus is an honourable man, so are they all honourable men, come I to speak in Caesar's funeral. He was my friend, faithful and just to me, but Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honourable man. He hath brought many captives home to Rome, whose ransoms did the general coffers fill. Did this in Caesar seem ambitious? When the poor have cried, Caesar hath wept. Ambition should be made of sterner stuff. Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honourable man. You all did see that on the Lupercal I thrice presented him a kingly crown, which he did thrice refuse. Was this ambition? Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and sure, he is an honourable man. I speak not to disprove what Brutus spoke, but here I am to speak what I do know. You all did love him once, not without cause. What cause withholds you then to mourn for him? Oh, judgment, thou art fled to brutish beasts, and men have lost their reason. Bear with me. My heart is in the coffin there with Caesar, and I must pause till it come back to me.
Methinks there is much reason in his saying.
Thou consider rightly of the matter. Caesar has had great wrong.
As he masters, I fear there will a worse come in his place.
The words? He refused the crown, therefore it is certain he was not ambitious.
If it be found so, some will dear abide it.
Poor soul. His eyes are red as fire with weeping.
Not a nobler man in Rome than Antony.
Now mark him, he begins again to speak.
But yesterday, the word of Caesar might have stood against the world. Now lies he here, and none so poor to do him reverence. O masters, if I were disposed to stir your hearts and minds to mutiny and rage, I should do Brutus wrong, and Cassius wrong, who you all know are honourable men. I will not do them wrong. I'd rather choose to wrong myself, to wrong the dead, and you, than I will wrong such honourable men. But here's a parchment with the will, under the seal of Caesar. I found it in his closet. It's his will. Let but the commons hear this testament, which, pardon me, I do not mean to read, and they would go and kiss dead Caesar's wounds, and dip their napkins in his sacred blood, yea, beg a hair of him for memory, and dying, mention it within their wills, bequeathing it as a rich legacy unto their issue.
We'll hear the will. Read it, Mark.
Have patience, gentle friends. I must not read it.
Why?
It is not meet, you know how Caesar loved you. You are not wood, you are not stone, but men. And being men, bearing the will of Caesar, it will inflame you. It will make you mad. It is good you know not that you are his heirs, for if you should, oh, what would come of it? Will you stay a while? I have foreshot myself to tell you of it.
I fear I wrong the honourable men whose daggers have stabbed Caesar. I do fear it.
They were traitors! Honourable men!
They were villains, murderers, the will. Read the will.
Will you compel me then to read the will?
Yes, read the will.
Then make a ring about the corpse of Caesar, and let me show you him that made the will. Shall I descend? And will you give me leave?
Yes.
Come down. Make a ring.
Stand from the hearse, stand from the body.
Make room for Antony, most noble Antony.
Nay, press not so upon me. Stand far off. If you have tears, prepare to shed them now. You all do know his mantle. Look! In this place ran Cassius' dagger through. See what a rent the envious Casca made! Through this, the well-beloved Brutus stabbed. And as he plucked his cursed steel away, mark how the blood of Caesar followed it, as rushing out of doors to be resolved if Brutus so unkindly knocked or no. For Brutus, you all know, was Caesar's angel. Judge, oh you gods, how dearly Caesar loved him. This was the most unkindest cut of all. For when the noble Caesar saw him stabbed, ingratitude, more strong than traitor's arms, quite vanquished him. Then burst his mighty heart, and in his mantle, muffling up his face, even at the base of Pompey's statue, which all the while ran blood, great Caesar fell. Oh, what a fall was this, my countrymen! Then I, and you, and all of us fell down whilst bloody treason flourished over us. Oh, now you weep, and I perceive you feel the dins of pity. These are gracious drops. Kind souls, what weep you when you but behold our Caesar's vesture wounded? Look you here! Here is himself, marred, as you see, with traitors.
Piteous spectacle, oh noble Caesar.
Oh, woeful day. Oh, traitors, villains.
Most bloody sight.
We will be revenged.
Yes!
Revenge. You shall get.
Kill them all!
Countrymen,
We'll hear the noble Antony.
So,
We'll follow him, we'll die with him.
good friends, sweet friends, let me not stir you up to such a sudden flood of mutiny. They that have done this deed are honourable. What private griefs they have, alas, I know not that made them do it. They are wise and honourable, and will no doubt with reasons answer you. I come not, friends, to steal away your hearts. I am no orator, as Brutus is, but as you know me all, a plain, blunt man that loved my friend, and that they know full well that gave me public leave to speak of him. For I have neither wit, nor words, nor worth, action, nor utterance, nor the power of speech to stir men's blood. I only speak right on. I tell you that which you yourselves do know. Show you sweet Caesar's wounds, poor, dumb mouths, and bid them speak for me. But were I Brutus, and Brutus Antony, there where an Antony would ruffle up your spirits and put a tongue in every wound of Caesar that should move the stones of Rome to rise and mutiny!
We'll burn the house of Brutus.
come away, let us seek the conspirators.
Hear me, countrymen, yet hear me speak.
my friends, you go to do you know not what. Wherein hath Caesar thus deserved your lives? Alas, you know not. I must tell you then. You have forgot the will I told you of.
The will. Let's hear the will.
Here is the will, and under Caesar's seal, to every Roman citizen he gives, to every several man, 75 drachmas.
Most noble Caesar.
Hear me, patience.
Royal Caesar.
Moreover, he hath left you all his walks, his private arbours and new planted orchards on this side Tiber. He hath left them you and to your heirs forever common pleasures to walk abroad and recreate yourselves. Here was a Caesar. When comes such another?
Never! Never! Away, away! We'll burn his body in the holy place and with brands of fire the traitors' houses! Take up the body!
Go fetch fire!
Put down the benches! Put down forms! Windows! Anything!
Now let it work. Mischief thou art afoot. Take thou what course thou wilt. How now, fellow?
Sir, Octavius has already come to Rome.
Where is he?
He and Caesar are at Levinus' house.
And thither will I straight to visit him. He comes upon a wish. Fortune is merry, and in this mood will give us anything.
I heard him say that Brutus and Cassius are rid like madmen to the gates of Rome.
Belike they had some notice of the people, how I have moved them. Bring me to Octavius.
Your name.
Whither are you going?
Where do you dwell? Are you a married man or a bachelor?
Answer every man directly. I am briefly.
I am wisely.
I am truly you of best.
Proceed directly.
Directly I go to Caesar's funeral.
As a friend or an enemy?
It's a friend.
That matter is answered directly.
Your name, sir, truly?
Truly my name is Cinnamon.
Tear him to pieces! He's a conspirator! Ugh.
I am Sin of the Poet. I am Sin of the Poet.
Tear him for his bad verse! Tear him for his bad verse!
I am not Sin of the Conspirator.
It is no matter's name, son. What is his name for starting set going?
These many then shall die, their names are pricked.
Your brother too must die. Consent you, Levinus?
I do consent.
Prick him down, Antony.
On condition, Publius shall not live, who is your sister's son, Mark Antony.
He shall not live. Look, with a spot I damn him. But Levinus, go you to Caesar's house. Bring the will hither, and we shall determine how to cut off some charge in legacies.
Right. Shall I meet you here?
Here, or at the Capitol.
This is a slight, unmeritable man. meet to be sent on errands. Is it fit, the threefold world divided, he should stand one of the three to share it?
So you fought, and took his voice as to who should be sentenced to die in our black sentence and prescription.
Octavius, I have seen more days than you, and though we lay these honours on this man to ease ourselves of divers sundrous loads, he shall but bear them as the ass bears gold, to groan and sweat under the business, either led or driven as we point the way. And having brought our treasure where we will, then take we down his load and turn him off, like to the empty ass, to shake his ears and graze in commons.
You may do your will, but he's a tried and valiant soldier.
So is my horse, Octavius, and for that I do appoint him store of provender. And now, Octavius, listen, great things. Brutus and Cassius are levying powers. We must straight make head. Therefore, let our alliance be combined, our best friends made, and let us presently go sit in council, how covert measures may be best disclosed, and open perils surest answered.
Let us do so, for we are at the stake, and bait about with many enemies. And those who smile they have in their hearts, I fear, millions of mischiefs.
Done me wrong. Judge me, you gods. Wrong I mine enemies? And if not so, how should I wrong a brother?
That you have wronged me doth appear in this. You have condemned and noted Lucius Pella for taking bribes here of the Sardians, wherein my letters, praying on his side because I knew the man, were slighted off.
You wrong yourself to write in such a case.
In such a time as this, it is not meet that every nice offense should bear his comment.
Listen to me, Cassius. You yourself are much condemned to have an itching palm, to sell and march your officers for gold to underservers.
Aye, an itching palm. You know that you are Brutus that do speak this, or else by the gods this speech well shall last.
The name of Cassius honors this corruption. Chastisement, therefore, doth hide his head.
Chastisement?
Remember March. Ides of March, remember. Did not great Julius bleed for justice's sake? What villain touched his body that did stab, and not for justice? What shall we, that struck the foremost man of all this world, but for supporting robbers? Shall we now contaminate our fingers with base bribes and sell the mighty space of our large honors for so much trash that may be grasped thus? I'd rather be a dog and be the moon than such a Roman!
Do not bait me, Brutus. I'll not endure it. You wrong yourself to hedge me in. I'm a soldier, aye, older in practice, abler than yourself to make conditions.
Go to, you are not Cassius.
I am.
I say you're not.
Urge me no more. I shall forget myself. Have mind upon your health. Tempt me no further.
Go away, slight man.
It's possible.
Hear me, for I will speak. Must I give way and room to your rash caller? Shall I be frightened when a madman stares?
Oh, ye gods, must I endure all this?
All this? Aye, and more. Fret to your proud heart. Break. Go show your slaves how choleric you are. Make your bondmen tremble. Must I budge? Must I observe you? Must I stand and crouch under your testy humor? By the gods, you will digest the venom of your spleen, though it do split you. For from this day forth, I shall use you for my mirth, yea, for my laughter when you are waspish.
Is it come to this?
You say you are the better soldier? Let it appear so.
Make your vaunting true, and it shall please me well. For mine own part, I shall be glad to learn of noble men.
You wrong me every way. You wrong me, Brutus. I said an older soldier, not a better. Did I say better?
If you did, I care not.
When Caesar lived, he durst not have moved me.
Peace! Peace! You durst not so have tempted him!
Durst not tempt?
No.
I durst not.
Not on your life you durst not.
Do not presume too much upon my love. I may do that I shall be sorry for.
You have done what you should be sorry for. There is no terror in your threats, Cassius, for I am so armed in honesty that they pass by me like an idle wind, which I respect not. I did send to you for certain sums of gold which you denied me. I can raise no money by vile means. By heaven, I had rather coin my heart and drop my blood for drachmas than to wring from the hard hands of peasants their vile track. I did send to you for gold to pay my legions, which you denied me. Was this done like Cassius? Should I have answered Gaius Cassius so? When Marcus Brutus grows so covetous to lock such rascal counsels from his friends, be ready, you gods, with all your thunderbolts, dash him to pieces!
Denied you not.
You did.
I did not. He was a fool that brought my answer back. Brutus hath rived my heart. A friend should bear his friend's infirmities, but Brutus makes mine worse than they are.
I do not
practice
them.
Love me not.
I do not like your faults.
A friendly eye would never see such faults.
The flatterers would not believe here as huge as high Olympus.
Come, Antony, and young Octavius, come. Revenge yourself on Cassius alone. Cassius is so weary of this world, hated by one he loves, braved by his brother, checked like a bondman, all my faults observed, set in a notebook, learned and conned by rote to cast into my teeth. Ah, could weep a spirit from my mouth. Here. Here's my neck. Here, my naked breast. Within, a heart dearer than Pluto's mind, richer than gold. If abuse a Roman, painful. I that denied thee gold will give my heart. Shrug! So this is Caesar. For I know that when thou hatest him worst, thou lovest him better than thou ever lovest Cassius.
Sheathe your dagger. Be angry when you will, it will have scope. Do what you will, to some will be humor. O Cassius, you are yoked with a lamb that carries anger like the flint bears fire, that straightway shows a hasty spark and then is cold again.
That Cassius but lived to be but mirth and humor to his Brutus, when grief and blood ill-tempered vexeth him.
When I said that, I was ill-tempered too.
He confessed so much.
And my heart too.
Oh, Brutus.
What's the matter?
Do you have love enough for me when the rash humor which my mother gave me makes me forgetful?
Yes, Cassius. And from hereafter, when you grow over earnest with your Brutus, he'll think that your mother chides and leave you so.
I did not think you could have been so angry.
Cassius, I am sick with many griefs.
Of your philosophies you make no use. You give way to accidental evils.
No man bears sorrow better. Portia is dead.
Oh. Portia. She is dead. How scared I kill him when I cross you so. Touching an insupportable loss. On what sickness?
Impatient of my absence, and in grief that young Octavius with Mark Antony have made themselves so strong. But this she fell to strength, and her attendant's absence she swallowed fire.
And died so.
Even so.
Oh, ye immortal gods!
Speak no more of her. Bring me a bowl of wine, Cassius. In this I bury all unkindness.
My heart is thirsty for that noble pledge. I cannot drink too much of Brutus's love.
Welcome, friends. Sit we now close about this taper, and let us call in question our necessities.
Or shall I go?
More drinking. Trebonius, I have here received letters that young Octavius with Mark Antony come down upon us with a mighty power, bending their expedition to Philippi.
Myself have letters of the self-same tenor.
With what addition?
That by order of prescription and bills of outlawry, Octavius Antony Lepus have put to death 100 senators.
Therein our letters do not well agree. Mine speak of 70 senators that have died by their prescription, Cicero being one.
Cicero one.
Cicero is dead, and by that order of prescription. Have you your letters from your wife, my lord?
No, Trebonius.
Nor nothing in your letters writ of her?
Nothing, Trebonius.
Methinks that strange.
Why ask you? Hear aught of her in yours?
No, my lord.
As you are a Roman, tell me true.
As a Roman, bear the news I have. She is dead, by strange manner.
Why, farewell, Portia. We must die, Trebonius. With meditating that she must die once, I have the patience to endure it now.
Even so, great men, great sorrow must endure.
I had as much of this in art as you, as yet my nature could not take it so.
Well, to our work alive. What think you of our marching to Philippi presently?
I do not think it good.
Your reason?
This it is. 'Tis better that the enemy seek us. So shall he waste his means, weary his soldiers, giving himself offense, whilst we, lying still, are full of rest, defense, and nimbleness.
Good reasons must of force give way to better. The people, twixt Philippi and this ground, stand but in a forced affection. They have grudged us contribution. The enemy, marching along by them shall make a fuller number up and come on, refreshed, new added, and encouraged, from which advantage we shall cut him off. If there, at Philippi, we face him, these people at our back.
Here, good brother.
Under your pardon, you must note besides, we have tried the utmost of our friends.
Our legions are brim full. Our cause is right. The enemy increaseth every day. We at the height are ready to decline. There is a tide in the affairs of men, which, taken at the flood, leads on to fortune omitted. All the voyage of their life is bound in shadows and miseries. On so full a sea are we now afloat, and we must take the current when it serves, or else lose our ventures.
Then with your will, go on. We'll along ourselves and meet them at Philippi.
The dark of night hath crept upon our talk, and nature must give way to necessity, which we will niggard with a little sleep. There is nothing more to say.
No more. Good night. Early tomorrow we'll rise and hence. Oh, my dear brother, this was an ill beginning to this night. Never comes such division twixt our souls. Let it not in this.
Everything is well.
Good night, my lord.
Let me see. It's not that page turned down where I left reading. Oh, how ill this paper burns. Comes here. It is weakness of my eyes that shapes this monstrous apparition. Art thou something? Art thou some god, some angel, or some devil that makes my blood run cold in my hair to stand? Speak to me, what thou art!
Thy evil spirit, Brutus.
Why comest thou?
Tell thee thou shalt see me at Philippi.
What? And I shall see thee again.
Aye, at Philippi.
Then I shall see thee at Philippi.
Now, Mark Antony, our hopes are answered. You said that the enemy would not come down, but keep to the hill and the upper region. It proves not so. They need to warn us at Philippi, here, answering before we do demand of them.
Tut. I am in their bosoms, and I know wherefore they do it. They could be content to visit other places, and come down with fearful bravery, thinking by this face to fasten in our thoughts that they have courage. But 'tis not so. Octavius, lead your battle softly on upon the left hand of the even field.
No. To the right hand eye, keep thou the left.
Why do you cross me in this exigence?
I do not cross you, but I will do so.
No, Caesar, we will answer on their charge. The generals would have some words.
Words before blows, is it so, countrymen?
Not that we live words so much as you do.
Good words are better than bad strokes, Octavius.
In your bad strokes, Brutus, you give good words. Witness the hole you made in Caesar's heart, crying, "Long live! Hail Caesar!"
Antony! The posture of your blows is yet unknown, but for your words, they rob the Hyblabees and leave them honeyless.
Not stingless, too.
Oh, yes, and soundless, for you have stolen their buzzing, Antony, and very wisely threat before you sting.
Villains! You did not so when your vile daggers hacked one another in the sides of Caesar. You showed your teeth like apes, and fawned like hounds, and bowed like bondmen, kissing Caesar's feet, whilst damned Casca like a cur behind struck Caesar on the neck. Oh, you flatterers!
Flatterers! Oh, now, Brutus, thank yourself, this tongue had not so offended if Cassius might have ruled.
Come the cause. If arguing makes us sweat, then proof of it will come as redder drops. Look, I draw a sword against conspirators. When do you think this sword shall be risen again? Never! Until Caesar's 33 wounds be well avenged, or until another Caesar hath added blood to the swords of traitors.
Caesar, thou canst not die by traitors' hands, unless thou bringst them with thee.
So I hope. I was not meant to die on Brutus' sword.
Were you the noblest of thy strain, young man, thou couldst not die more honorable.
A peevish schoolboy, unworthy of such an honor, hath joined with a masker and a reveler.
Old Cassius still!
Come, Mark Antony, away. Defiance, traitors, hurl we in your teeth. If you dare fight today, come to the fields. If not, when you have stomachs.
If we do lose this battle, and this is the very last time we shall speak together, what are you then determined to do?
I do not know how, but I do find it cowardly and vile for fear of what might fall, so to prevent the time of life. Arming myself with patience to say the providence of some high power that governs us below.
Then you are contented, then, to be led in triumph through the streets of Rome.
No, Cassius, no.
Think not, thou noble Roman, that ever Brutus shall go bound to Rome. He bears too great a mind. But this day must end the business that the Ides of March begun. Whether we shall meet again, I know not. And therefore, our everlasting farewell take. Forever and forever farewell. If we shall meet again, why, we'll smile. If not, why then this parting is well made.
Forever and forever, farewell. If we do meet again, we'll smile indeed. If not, 'tis true, this parting is well made.
Then lead on. Oh, that a man might know the end of this day's business ere it comes. But it sufficeth that the day will end, and then the end is known.
Casca, those white tents where I perceive the fire.
They are, my lord.
Casca, if thou lovest me, mount thou my horse and hide thy spurs in him, until he has brought thee there and back again, and tell me whether yon troops are friend or enemy.
I will be here again, even with a thought.
Go, Trebonius, hire a light now. My sight is ever thick. We're gone. Trebonius, tell me what thou knowest about the field. Say that I breathe it first. Time has come round. And where I did begin, there shall I end. My life has run its compass. Cyril, what news?
Oh, my lord.
What news?
Casca is enclosed and roundabout by horsemen that do make to her on the spur, yet she spurs on. They approach her. She's taken.
Come down. Behold no more. Oh, coward that I am, to live so long to see my best friend taken before my face. Search thou this bosom. Stand not to answer. Here. Take thou the hilts. Guide thou the sword. Caesar! Thou art revenged, even with the sword that killed thee.
Octavius' legions are overthrown by noble Brutus, just as ours by Antony.
These tidings will come for Cassius.
Is not that he there on the ground?
He lies up like the living. Oh, my heart.
Is not that he?
No, this was he, Trebonius. But Cassius is no more. Oh, setting sun, as in thy red rays thou dost sink tonight, so in his red blood Cassius' day is set. The sun of Rome is set, our day is done. Clouds, dews, and dangers come, our deeds are done. Mistrust in my success.
are yet 2 Romans living such as these. Last of all the Romans, fare thee well. It is impossible that Rome should ever breed thy fellow. Friends, I owe more tears to this dead man than you shall see me pay. I will find time, Cassius. I will find time. Come, poor remains and friends, that rest upon these rocks. Sit thee down. Hark thee, Simba.
What? I, my lord? No, not for all the world.
He said, no words.
I'll rather kill myself.
Hark me, Theseus.
Shall I do such a deed?
Caesar's spirit hath appeared to me 2 several times by night, at Sardis once, and this last night here in Philippi fields. I know my hour is come.
Not so, my lord.
Nay, I am sure it is! Thou seest the world, how it goes. Our enemies have beat us to the pit. It is more worthy to leap in ourselves than tarry till they push us. Good Theseus, thou knowest that we 2 went to school together, even by that our love of old. Hold thou my sword hilt whilst I run upon it.
That's not an office for a friend, my lord. Fly, my lord, fly. There is no tarrying here.
Farewell to you, and you. I will have glory by this losing day, more than Octavius and Antony, by their vile conquest of attain unto. Fare thee well at once! For Brutus' tongue hath almost sounded his life's history. Night hangs upon mine eyes, and my bones would rest that have been able to attain this hour.
Fly, my lord, fly.
Hence! I will follow. Caesar! Now be still. I killed not thee with half so good a will.
What man is that?
This was the noblest Roman of them all. All the conspirators, save only he, did that they did in envy of great Caesar. He only, in a general honest thought and common good to all, made one of them. His life was gentle, and the elements so mixed in him that nature might stand up and say to all the world, this was a man.
According to his nature, let us use him with all respect and rites of burial. Within my tent tonight his bones shall lie, most like a soldier, ordered honorably. So, call the fields to rest and let's away, to part the glories of this happy day.
My friends, your donations will be appreciated, please. And in addition, tonight we have a special case of a discussion with the director and the cast, if you wish. Thank you.